And hello everyone, Commander Simlex here, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. In today's video, we will be doing a short guide on shuttle bridges in Star Trek Online, building on our previous guide looking into starship bridges. If you would like to view our previous guide on starship bridges, you can access that video through the link in the upper right portion of the video. In a similar fashion to starship bridges, you can access the customization options for your shuttle bridges through the Starship Customization Officers on Earth Space Dock, Kronos, and New Romulus, through the Customize Shuttle option. Once you are in the Shuttle Customizer, you will be greeted with many of the same options as the Starship Customizer, with a template selector for shuttles that have multiple templates, such as the Danube-class runabout, an interior selector, which we will be focusing on today, a hull material selector, a paint scheme color selector, and under the Advanced tab, a paint scheme pattern selector. Now, for bridges in terms of shuttles, there are actually very few options in Star Trek Online for the shuttles. Unlike the Starship counterparts, whereby there are quite a few bridge options available, there are only 4 shuttle bridges in Star Trek Online, one for each faction. For the Federation, this is a bridge modeled after the Danube-class runabout. For the Romulans, the bridge is modeled after the Kestrel runabout. And for the Klingons, the bridge is modeled after the newly revamped Toron shuttle. This essentially means that there is only one real option for a shuttle bridge. And this also means that if you are wanting your shuttle that you fly in the game to match the bridge perfectly, you really can only fly one type of shuttle. For the Federation, this would be the Danube-class runabout or the Yellowstone-class runabout. And for the purposes of this video, we will be using the Federation as the primary example. Once you have your shuttle bridge selected, accessing your bridge is very similar to accessing your starship bridge. You go to the drop-down menu in the lower right portion of the minimap and select Small Craft Bridge. This is a really great way to access the shuttle bridge because not only is it always accessible no matter what you're doing in terms of missions, but also it can be accessed regardless of which ship you're flying. So if you are flying a big cruiser or a small escort, you can always access your shuttle, even though you are not technically flying your shuttle at that moment. And I really like that because it means that in a role-playing sense, you are essentially going from your bridge to your shuttle bay and then climbing aboard your shuttle or flying out of the shuttle bay with your shuttle, and then you're now on your bridge. So for role-playing, I think that's really cool. Then once you're on your shuttle bridge, you will be greeted with many of the same options as your starship bridge. You have a library computer for accessing files for certain missions. You have an account bank access, which is not showing up right now, but it is this console as well. And you have a ship selector in the form of one of your bridge officers, which allows you to switch between your starship and your shuttle, as well as any other ship in your lineup. And you also have a console that will allow you to contact your various duty officers. This is really cool because it means that when you are flying in your shuttle bridge, you then are essentially contacting your duty officers on your main ship and asking them to do certain tasks, like prepare you a drink for when you land in your shuttle bay, or do some research on personal shield tech, or whatever the case may be. So in that sense, it's very realistic and in tune with the Star Trek universe. Now, one of the drawbacks of these bridges, and this is very similar to the custom starship bridges that exist for certain vessels, there is very little maneuverability on the shuttle bridge. In terms of the Danube-class runabout, there was a rear compartment shown in Next Generation that is unfortunately not accessible. So you can't walk through these doors and access the rear compartment of the runabout, which was seen in the show. But you do have the entire cockpit to run around in. Therefore, you can really use these bridges for a lot of role-playing, but it is kind of too bad that they did not add the rear compartment as well, because that would have really fleshed out the entire bridge. And that about wraps up shuttle bridges in Star Trek Online. I hope you have found this guide useful, and I hope that you have all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel, and I will see everybody in the next video. Commander Simlex, out!